Hello, agents. Hello, everyone. Online, I see a lot of options. People are worried about outliving their money. People want guaranteed income. And I see retirees, regular people, and no one wants to outlive their money. I see a lot of insurance options offered. I don't see the one option that was the product built to guarantee income for life, right? The single premium immediate annuity was an insurance product built to guarantee income life. And it does other things that other products can't do. And we're going to talk about three of them today. First one's going to be the inflation adjustment, the cost of living adjustment. Cost of living adjustment will guarantee an increase every year compounded. Then we're going to talk about the period certain, how you can put a guarantee on the, no matter how long the person lives, you can guarantee a certain amount of time of that period certain. Then we're going to talk about reduction, how you can get a benefit now for a reduction later. So more income now with the option to reduce should something happen later. So let's jump into these are immediate annuities, joint and survivor income. We're going to talk about the COLA and the increases and all that good stuff. Stay to the end. That's where I'm going to get into that contingent. It's really cool, that contingent. Anyway, we started here with a couple age 65 years old. They get increasing income for as long as they live. The payout rate starts at 484 and increases by 3% annually, right? These are both 65-year-old people. And we're assuming a lifetime joint life with 10-year minimum certain. It's currently paying $403.71 a month. So that's, you see it, it's annualized. It's 80, 48, 44. So 4.84% is your annual payout rate. It's not an interest rate. It's not any type of guarantee. It's not a rate of return. It's not an APY. It's just if you put money in any investment, 8.4 is the amount you'd have to take out, increasing as you see, and never run out of money. So that's just the amount you're putting in and taking out. That's all it is. You could still, as I'll show you here, because this is a life in 10, you could still lose money if both of them are not around at the 10th year. The only return was only $55,000. So remember, realize that the payout rate, even though it's 6.32 here now, all that matters is your ultimate returns, your ultimate income. So this is 403 a month with the 10-year certain. And if these people should one of them be alive to 100, you see it returns $312,000. And if you're alive after 100, it'll keep paying as well, but it quotes to 100. But let's say we want to do I don't want to take a chance of losing $45,000, right? Well, you can do a life in 20, which drops the income by about $6 a month from 403 to 397. You see that? But what does that do? It gives us this 20-year minimum still. It changes the income to this 397 and it changes the payout rate to 4.77%. Right? So this is a joint with 20. So what is the minimum guarantee here? Well, at 20 years is 128. So a 28% minimum return on this annuity, worst case scenario, right? So that's 100% joint and survivor. Now, if either is alive after that, then it'll keep paying. So on the 30th year there, 35th year at age 100 there, it's 288. So 312 with the 10-year, 288. So really all that insurance you're buying is for the beginning, and it costs you, that's a cost of insurance as long as you're alive, as long as the client's alive. But how about we want to get more income? So here's a way to get 413. Wait a minute, that's better than 4. That's $10 better than the life in 10. And this is a life in 20. How does that work? Well, we're in contingency now. So this payment will reduce 25% at either annuitant's passing. Well, that's not a good deal. Suppose they pass on the first day. Well, we have a 20-year guarantee. So let's break this down. So $413 a month with joint and survivor. Now you're at a 4.96 initial payout rate. 4.96. See, 496 becomes 511 and so on. And 20 years, you're at 133. So that's better than the other two we looked at because the first 20 years is all guaranteed. It cannot change, right? So we're at 133. Minimum guarantee, 33% return day one on this particular single premium immediate annuity. If they live to be age 100, it's 299. So not quite as good as the 312, but better than the 288, right? So you're right in the middle there. And of course, it'll keep paying if these people are alive, and it will end if any of them pass, right? Because we had a 25% reduction. So how does that work? Let's read this, right? Joint payment reduction is an option to reduce the income amount by a percentage selected in the event of annuitant dies or at the first death, right? So that's what we chose here because it's the best bang for your buck at first death, right? It's the most likely option. One of them will happen. But here's the good part. If you select a reduction payment and a period certain. So what did we do here? We did joint life and 20-year period certain. So What does that mean? Let's read deeper into this period certain. The reduction at death will not take place until the end of the period certain. So those first 20 years are guaranteed. Even if both or one passes, there's no reduction. Nothing happens until after the 20th year. And then at that point, we would have a reduction. At the 20th year, you'd have a reduction. So if you look back at the 20th year here, well, we can go forward and do that actually, because I'm going to pull it up right here. Right, 21 plus will be reduced only if one annuitant remains, or it'll end if no annuitants remain. So the 8,700, so if they were getting 8,700, but there was only one annuitant, it would drop by 25% to 6,525, which is still better than the initial payment, right? The 4,900. So you're still better off, but that's how it works. So you get all that up front with the 20-year guarantee. So let's break this down even more. What are things we talked about here? We talked about the cost of living adjustment. There were exclusion ratios because I used non-qualified money. I didn't get into it. You can go back and look at those illustrations and they'll show the taxable, non-taxable, and end portion. Shows you when the exclusion ratio ends and all that good stuff. So we talked about 1, 2, and 3 here, the contingent, reducing at death, and technically 4 with the period certain. So we talked in this one annuity about 8 features that the SPIA will have that riders just do not offer you. That's the cost of living adjustment, the exclusion ratio, the joint reduction, and the period certain. All those are not offered on a rider. So anyway, that's why I want to do these. It's good to know. If you like this type of content, follow me on, subscribe over there on YouTube, follow me on X, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And here's some disclosures. These are general disclosures for all annuities. Yeah, so that's the end of my presentation. And basically what we're saying here is, oh, there I am. Hey, there's other options besides what you might see out there. If you're dealing with someone and they're not showing you an immediate annuity, or you're looking for guaranteed income, that's a red flag, big red flag. Be careful of fee-based people. They usually don't even show these products. If they do, great, but fee-based immediate annuities are not very good overall products. The payment's lower, the fees are very high. So if you have any questions, want to quote agents, need to get licensed, want to talk about these traditional guarantees, give me a call. Follow me X, YouTube, LinkedIn for the most up-to-date information. And thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.